Hello, Jim Steska here, coming to you from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Thanks for joining me this evening. What I'd like to talk about this evening is size matters. And what I mean by that is portion size. Okay? I know in my fitness journey and nutrition journey, things started really turning around for me and getting excellent results when I really started paying attention to my portion sizes. Before I was fit, okay, when I was, I guess what I consider comparatively now a fat slob, okay, I didn't care pretty much what I ate and how much I ate. Okay, it was very common. I ate a lot of fast food at that time. I would go to a fast food place, say like McDonald's, and eat 2 Big Macs, large fries, okay, and that sort of thing. And that's way too many calories, way too big a portion. Okay. Now it takes a while to wean off of fast foods. So I remember I travel a lot on the highway up and down I-95, and fast food was convenient at that time. So I had to wean myself off, and I still stopped at fast food places, but instead of getting 2 burgers, I would only get 1. Instead of getting a large fry, I got a small fry. Instead of drinking a soda perhaps, or a milkshake, or that sort of thing, I drank water. Okay? So you have to kind of change what you're doing there, especially when it comes to portion sizes. Okay? Sat down to eat a meal with a meat, potato, and vegetable. Okay, now the meat, I would eat 2 pieces of meat, no problem. Well, when you're paying attention to your portions, you eat 1 piece of meat, and usually in the range of 4 ounces. Okay. In order to measure meat, if you really want to pay close attention and be accurate, get yourself a food scale. Okay, I've got one, and I used to use it quite a bit when I was first starting out, but now I don't have to use it quite as much because I know. You learn over time after doing it so much. You just know how big of a portion size that you are eating just by looking at the piece of meat, let's say. Okay. Also, when it comes to starch, like rice or potato or that type of thing, you got to limit yourself to 1 cup. Okay. I sometimes only eat a half a cup of a starch. Okay. And I still use a measuring cup for those sorts of things. Okay, so make friends with measuring cups. Okay, as before, like a big plate of rice, half a plate of rice would be no problem. Okay, go to a Chinese food restaurant and eat that whole carton of rice. Okay, but that's way too much starch, way too much rice. You'll never lose weight effectively by eating that much starch all at one time. Okay, starch is a carbohydrate, and carbohydrates you need to use for energy. Especially if you eat that type of thing for dinner, you're not going to burn it because you're not going to be using that much energy because your body's ready for rest and sleep. And you certainly don't burn that much energy doing those things. Okay, so that carbohydrate is going to turn into sugar, which is going to turn into fat. And that's how your body works. Okay, so you got to be careful of your starch intake. Okay, now if you work out at night, if you eat before you work out at night, it's not so bad. You could eat more starch because you're likely to burn it during exercise. Okay, but I work out in the morning, early morning, so eating that much starch. So I pay attention to limit it to a cup, sometimes a half a cup. Okay, nuts is another thing. I love nuts. A lot of people really like nuts. Okay, I eat a tablespoon at a time. Tablespoon of nuts. Sometimes 2, but most of the time 1 tablespoon. And I use it. I don't eat them necessarily by the handful or that type of thing. I put them in something like blended with oatmeal in the morning, blended with yogurt for my breakfast. I eat my nuts usually in the morning more than any other time. Okay. And I might put a tablespoon of cashews in a stir fry if I'm doing a stir fry for dinner. Okay, but nuts are very high calorie content and fat content. Although good fat, okay, it's still high in calories. So if you are watching your weight, you got to be careful how much nuts you consume. So again, make those measuring spoons your friend when it comes to those sorts of things. Okay. Something like peanut butter. I really like peanut butter. A lot of people like peanut butter. You got to limit yourself to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and that's, if you read the label, most peanut butters are 190, 200 calories. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So you should measure those things out. Okay. So portion size really does matter. That's when I really started seeing a lot of changes in my weight, and a lot of success in losing weight and building muscle and that type of thing, when I really started paying attention to portion sizes. Okay, don't take it for granted. Now, underneath this video, I do have a link. WebMD has a pretty neat guide to portion sizes. For instance, it likens a deck of cards to a 3-ounce piece of meat, which is a kind of an average serving size. A wallet is the right serving size, or a checkbook. A checkbook wallet is a right serving size for a piece of fish. Okay, those sorts of things. A golf ball for peanut butter. I think it has 3 dice for cheese. Okay, those sorts of things. So, pretty neat guide. I put a link below, so you can go right to it, maybe print it out and use it as a guide yourself. Okay. But 3 things you need to, I think, add to your usage if you're not using them already is a food scale, especially for meats. Okay, and I'd say a 4 to 6 ounce, no more than 6 ounce portion of meat with your meals. Okay, I try to stay closer to the 4 ounce myself. And then you want measuring spoons for your tablespoons and teaspoons and that sort of thing. Like olive oil, a tablespoon of olive oil has 120 calories, so you might want to stick to 1 or 2 teaspoons, which will get less calories, but probably the same amount of flavor and everything like that. So, and cups, measuring cups. Okay, half cup, quarter cup, 1 whole cup. Measuring cups you're going to need to use to make sure you have the right portions. Okay. And really, it's psychological. Once you start paying attention to portions, albeit maybe are you hungry and can you eat more after eating less portions? Yes, probably. Okay, but drink some water. I drank a lot of green tea. Maybe have a cup of coffee instead to kind of fill me up instead of eating more food. Okay, because your body really doesn't need more food. It's just going to turn into fat and not help you in your weight loss efforts. Okay. So I'd also like to invite you to join my complimentary Healthy Living Consultation. Okay, it'll give you the steps that you need in order to get into the best shape of your life and maintain it for a lifetime. Okay, and I'm committed myself to maintaining excellent health for a lifetime. So may God bless you with excellent health, and have a nice evening.